Let me ask you an honest question though. When we was in the round league
Mm-hmm.
and my team knocked y'all team out the playoffs, was you salty
Was that salty? That you
towards me?
no.
Okay.
You my dog. You know what I mean?
But everyone else,
That's what
they could get it.
I mean, they could get it for them 40 minutes, and then after the game, I'm shaking them up. You know what I mean?
Nah, I'm gonna be salty at everybody on that team. They some bums. We wasn't supposed to lose.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
That was my first round league team. I didn't.
Baseball?
No,
The round league.
basketball.
I thought you was there with, and they had me guarding Colt Lyera. This dude was a.
Wait, really? You played the? Oh no, I never played in round league. Yeah.
No, you did.
No.
I thought y'all came out.
No, you played in Portland City.
Yeah.
Portland City. Oh, okay.
You didn't want to play against us.
Let me ask you this though. Now that you brought up the round league, and them 750 possessions you've tried to guard me, on them 748 buckets I got, was you salty?
No, listen. No matter.
Tay don't talk about when he getting cooked though.
No.
He don't talk about when.
I don't care what league it was in.
Tay
None of that shit. I'm trying to guard somebody else because Tay already knows.
You ran from him. I never ran from him. You know that. You know that. You know that. I never ran from him.
When
I'm probably the only one who never, besides our boy in where Allen at?
Canada.
Yeah, AB in Canada. Shout out to AB. Yeah, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say, whenever I'm guarding Tay, and it just so happens that that's what the matchup is. And we at squads run, we at the round league, we at the church run, we at the church run with the plastic floor,
Irving,
we at Damascus, Irving. It don't matter where it is, the matchup just always ends up I'm guarding Tay. And listen,
only niggas with bowl cut duck Tay.
Hey, don't get it twisted. A lot of motherfuckers duck tape. We keeping it a bean, but.
This how it be, the team that I'm on. And usually, like, I'm not going to put, I'm usually the older one out there.
Yeah.
And there's young cats out there that are much more athletic than maybe, I'm not knocking myself, I'm pretty athletic, but they are more than capable of guarding Tay. And they're like, nah, I ain't going to go.
You know why they don't do it? It's a culture thing. Niggas like, that white boy ain't about to cook me. So they see him cook somebody, they like, oh yeah, got him, you got him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so they want me to go get cooked.
Yeah, they want you to go get, because you like on the spectrum. Like,
yeah. The spectrum is wild. It's crazy. You said I'm on the spectrum. Oh man. That's good though.
We got
I ain't got nothing to say.
Got him.
Silence the crowd. Silence the crowd. Take one. Silence the crowd. Take one.
Yeah, finally got one. Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about it. It's a culture thing too when it comes to recovery though, on a serious note. Stepping in these rooms and not seeing your people. Once you get past the drugs, it's like, damn, how can I relate? I got to figure this out. And then you will hear somebody talking about pain and trauma, and then that's how you relate to it. Don't let the culture thing push you away from the rooms. Because G said it earlier, it's a God shot for us to be with each other. Everybody here to help regardless of what it looks like. And you never know what your help gonna look like. And 9 times out of 10, your help is never coming from your own.
His recovery is like, for me, it's like team sports.
Yeah.
I found my people, I found my boys, you know what I'm saying? And I just vibe with them. Just like how, I'm not saying for every team that you have, but usually you go to battle with somebody, you know what I'm saying? They become your brothers, you know what I'm saying? So when you walk into the rooms and you look around, if you can put your ego and your pride aside, everyone in that room went through a battle to get to that chair. You know what I'm saying? They deserve a chair.
Yeah.
But we have this pride and this ego that we're like, man, I don't want to sit in this room. I don't know this dude, or he looks weird, or he talked too much, or, he seems fake, or look what he wears. You know what I'm saying? We put all these, blinders in front of us, which keeps us from actually getting to the work and to the word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And then that individual says, I'm not going to go back.
Yeah.
And then they're out.
What's it called? That you looking for the differences and not the similarities.
Yeah.
Find differences in every avenue. You can find differences in every person, but you can also find similarities is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You trying to stay in them rooms, you're going to find the similarities. If you trying to run from them rooms, you're going to find the differences.
Biggest similarity is we're all addicts.
Yeah.
That's all that should matter.
And we all
But I think for like a newcomer, like knowing like we all addicts is like, they walk in there with a different mindset. Like, yeah, we might all be addicts, but our rock bottoms are like totally different, or like the stuff they did to get that drug. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they walking in there with that on their mind. Like fresh as a newcomer, all that shit on your mind. Like all the shit you did, all the shit that was done to you, and then you walk into a meeting, and there's people dressed like you in the meeting, Gucci suits up. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody in there clean cut. Then if it's women in there, it's just like, oh shit, you just feel real small, you know. And then when you share, you see people, they don't want to hear. 9 times out of 10, it's hard for people to listen to a newcomer because all they're gonna talk about is the chaos and the use of the drug. And a lot of people get in their phone. People will be getting up. It'll make that person feel like what they got to say is less important.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I mean, I bounced around to a few meetings
Yeah,
until I found the right one.
you
know what I'm
have
saying?
to. Yeah,
And this is no knock. I mean, you know, I've heard some good words in co-ed meetings. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But where I was able to relate the most was in a men's
Yeah.
meeting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was able to walk into the rooms. I was able to see dudes that were, you know, getting houses, getting cars, getting their kids bags, getting their license, happy about paying taxes. They were crying, they were laughing, you know what I'm saying? There were sneakerheads in there. There were people that worked out in there, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I didn't relate to every single person in the room, but I was able to pick who I wanted to, you know, take suggestions from, and I was able to talk with those individuals, and that like became my core group of people, you know what I'm saying? And even if you walk into a room and you might not relate to that, there's, I don't know how many meetings there are a day, every hour in Portland, Southwest Washington. You know, I'm just speaking of the Northwest, but all over the world.
Yeah, I believe Oregon is like the biggest pope for like recovery, though.
That's
You know what I'm
what I
saying?
hear.
Yeah, it is. But when I was talking about that person, I was even talking about myself. For instance, I walk into a meeting, I hear we don't want to hear about no war stories. You know what I'm saying? But I walk in there, not my people in there. I'm like, damn, coming from where I come from, like ain't nobody in here gonna relate to me. You know what I'm saying? They story is way different.
Mhm.
They ain't, but this all going through my head. They ain't did what I did. They ain't been where I've been. You know what I'm saying? Until I hear somebody talking about something about a mom or about a dad. And I'm like, oh, that's relatable. Oh, I can relate. Okay, I do belong here. This is what I got to work on. And then now that's like, that stuff I got to work on that I never talked about. You know what I'm saying? I remember being in the meeting crying, sitting next to my sponsor. I'm asking him, like, when the tears going to stop? And like, you don't want them to stop. That's the healing part. But where I come from, you couldn't cry. Like, you getting punched on. Like, it ain't belt the ass like it was belt the ass, but it was like butt naked belt the ass. Or go pick a branch. You go get that small branch, come back in there. Well, yeah, you come back in there, you with a small one, go back out there and get a big one. It was different. So now I gotta reopen all this up.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And what other way, if I don't have a drug to make me feel good while I'm opening up this trauma, is other defects of characters, that sneaky behavior that's trying to get away with shit that I'm not talking about, that I should have been working on all at that one time. You know what I'm saying? Then I wouldn't cause a level of harm 4 years into my recovery. You get what I'm saying? So it all ties into it, but it's like, how do you navigating through that early on is like the hardest. Like, so I found one thing that was eating me up the most, and that was my upbringing on how can I deal with these demons for now? How can I settle this down? You know what I'm saying? Because being sober, this was coming up on the surface more than the drug use. You know what I'm saying? And while I'm working on that, feeling better and getting better, I also got this sneaky behavior going on, being dishonest, you know what I'm saying? People thinking I'm like this stand-up guy in a relationship, and I just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And my sponsor pointed that out too. He was like, you was a fraud. And I couldn't I couldn't accept the word fraud while we were doing step work. And he was like, just admit it. That's what it was. You was a fraud. That shit broke me down, like tears, crying, like, damn, I really was a fraud. Like, wasn't nothing real about me. You know what I'm saying? But in my eyes, it's like, okay, I'm focused on this. I'm working on this. I'm helping people. I'm doing this. But I still had them beliefs. A man can do whatever as long as he's taking care of home. He can do whatever outside the home. Never worked on it. Never talked about it. Swept it under the rug. But imagine if I was utilizing them tools of talking about it, going to these all men's meetings talking about it, hearing it in all men's meetings like man's talking about it. Man wasn't even talking about it. I remember after everything hit the fan, me going to my home group talking about it, bro, I'm walking there, people in recovery was looking at me like I had shit on my face. You know what I'm saying? And then a year into it, just showing up, not running. I wanted to run from it.
Yeah.
But just showing up, then men with more years than me got to talk about what they did and where they at with it now and how they getting through it and how they navigating. You know what I'm saying? So it's not perfect and it's not sweet. And yeah, recovery is the ultimate gift of it. But putting that eternal work in and doing it and changing behavior is the key to it, though.
That's the two most important parts. You
Yeah.
went through hell at 4 years clean. You didn't pick up and you learned from it.
Yeah.
You talked about it to learn from it to get better.
Yeah.
That's the most important part, though. If you listening and you struggling, the most important part of that story is he did not pick up. Nothing is worth, because what would have happened?
Yeah, I picked up. Kid, I would have been back home. Back in Inglewood, kids not here. Wouldn't have been a dad for the kids. And that's what I was saying at the end of the pod, and he played at the end of the last pod on the episode too, where it just looked like I'm clueless of words. But I was really trying to say, also, it looked like, what is this dude even talking about?
But I love how you try to blame that on G, though.
It was. I said, cut it. Like, leave it for bloomers. Cut it. He's all, yeah, I got you cut. And I watched the end of it. I'm like, oh, he left it on there. But yeah, show up. We show up regardless. We don't get loaded regardless. Like, we here. I'm here for this. I did everything else out there. Only thing I didn't do was live the right way.